you. Yes, you can. Okay, you're still not hearing me. Can you hear me, Avril? Oh my gosh, I might have to begin this live all over and do the same thing. Okay, you guys, can you hear me? I'm on Instagram. Can you hear? Anyway, I really was talking about like being in the gym. And okay, something seems to be wrong with my connections again. I was really just talking about like the easier you do something, the more you do something, the easier it becomes. So that is the first, like, that's the first rendering, I think, of confidence. There's another confidence, however. That first one comes from experience. There's another confidence that I think is perhaps even more important and makes you even more resilient. What am I talking about? It is that sense that I will find a way. No matter what happens, I might fail in the first instance, I might not do it well the first time, but I will find a way. And when I really thought about that kind of confidence, I don't know if it's intrinsic. Is it intrinsic? I'm not sure. Like if you could call it intrinsic confidence, I'm not sure. I know that some of the sources of mine, that kind of confidence, it came from my mom always saying to us, you can do it. I heard that all the time growing up. My children hear it all the time growing up. You can do it. It doesn't mean that you are better than anybody else. It doesn't mean that, you know, that you will not struggle. Hey, Tia, how are you? All it means is you will find a way. Things are going to work out. There's a God confidence in there, and there's a confidence in your own ability to get up and to do something. You can do it. And so, how that is translated for me, hearing it all the time, my mom always said to me, you can do it. No, you can do it. And I say it all the time now to my children and to the people around me. So what happens now, the way that some people didn't grow up with it. In fact, some people grew up with hearing the opposite. You're no good. You're not this, you're not that. Something's missing, something's broken with you. You are no. And then I think like even the role of the coach is to kind of help you to see that, to kind of debunk and to disprove the things that you've heard that are not true, because everybody can do something. So it's to find your starting point as to what can you do. So that's one way that it's translated. Now, in terms of, I always heard it, so I still believe it. And here's the thing, when my mom said that to me all these years that I kept on hearing it all the time, it was never geographical, it was never country specific, it was not race specific, it was not, um, I don't know, economic situation specific. It never was. It was never tied to any of those things. So I come here as an immigrant, and the same thing obtains, the same kind of foundation still obtains. You can do it, you can find a way. And that is the kind of confidence that I think, even if you didn't have it over time, if you are intentional now about life, about changing the mindset, it is possible. Because whereas I might have heard great things about that in my life, there are other areas that I now have to start to do the whole mental change all over again, because some areas didn't work. And I granted, right? So the thing with confidence is that second one, that belief in yourself that you're going to find a way. I think it's a stronger one. What do you think? I think it's the one that gets you into situations and gives you an open mind as an immigrant in particular to ask questions. Because whether I ask a question or not, if I ask a question, it doesn't mean that I am less. How dare you? So you have the right to ask a question and I don't? So I'm supposed to know it all? And no. You take that kind of liberty to be curious about your world, even in the face of a society that might not believe that you have the right to be curious. That's what I'm saying too, right? So there's that. So, how are you translating your confidence in your life? How are you showing that you are feeling that if I find a if it doesn't work out, I will still find a way? No matter what happens, I will land on my feet. Something will work out, even if I don't know how to do it, and I feel like a fool doing it in the first instance. I will find a way. I'll fall on my face. Yes, that's okay. I'll get up and I'll find a way. I heard a coach say once, bet on yourself. Don't be afraid to step out because you want to bet on yourself. You can bet on yourself this time. Don't be afraid to step out because you can bet on yourself, right? It's all of those, like, I find like confidence is just a daily thing. It's living it out. It's taking steps that you would not normally take and proving to yourself, okay, I didn't do that well, but this part of it I did. So maybe I can evaluate, come back again and try. And like you will never hear me speak about confidence without always encouraging people to give other people the space to grow, to make mistakes, to find their own wings. It's so important, right? That where your energy goes, where your focus goes, your energy goes. So if you are the kind of person who's always laughing at other people, you are definitely or very prideful, that kind of person who never wants to seem like they are on the losing side, the learning side. Oh my gosh, just this prideful thing that gets you nowhere. If you are that kind of person, not only will you be very hard on other people and be the kind of person who's always scoffing at others, but you yourself, to your detriment, you are never going to be the kind of person who is okay with making mistakes. And if you laughed at, you laughed at, it doesn't even matter, right? And I feel like the more you live life is the more you realize it is about taking risks and stepping out in a way that makes sense. That being said, I haven't even got to, oh my gosh, what we were talking about. Okay. When is it not okay to be confident? Some people like to just rush into stuff. I've been guilty of that. Oh, it's going to work. By sheer force of saying the word, it's going to work. It's going to work. It doesn't quite work like that now, does it? Behind that can do attitude, there should also be, or deeper than the can do attitude, there should also be strategy. A couple things that you can do to be careful in the first instance. How has it been done before? Can you check? Can you watch a video? Can you try it in private first? Can you ask a couple questions before? Right? Can you I had this friend that I interviewed. He was already an executive at the time that I interviewed him when I was doing my MBA back in the day. And he said that when he got an iPad, and like Google and all of those things became so widespread, he said he stopped asking questions. In other words, instead of like coming forward like very foolishly and asking questions, he would first of all go check those things out. Sometimes even while maybe I'm with a client or speaking to somebody and they're saying stuff that I don't know, I'll just simply Google it very quickly. Yeah, the flow, I'm still listening, but I just want to kind of come up to speed about what you're talking about and not interrupt the flow to ask you, well, what is that? I feel like even sometimes when people deal with immigrants, that's one of my little pet peeves. I always say, like, Google it before you come and ask me a silly question. Can you just Google what I'm talking about? I remember one time, just very quickly, and then we're going to end. One time, I in my first job here in Edmonton, at my office, a colleague just Googled where I'm from. I'm from St. Lucia. And she was an elderly lady already and just Googled it instead of coming, I guess, and ask me questions like, do people swing from trees? She just Googled St. Lucia and she realized we were a whole nation. There was more than one person on the island. So when I left, there were still people left on the island. Okay. I feel like if we just simply, one way to exercise the confidence or to be cautious about it is to do those little things to save yourself. Yes, you're confident and so on, but save yourself the embarrassment if you can. And just simply like Google things that you don't know, find out if you can. And what goes with that is that you develop a resourcefulness. That when people come in your face and tell you things, dude, I have Google. I can find out. What are you talking about? Okay. I can, scan it, get the QR code if I have to. I can find out for myself. So you develop a resilience that way when you become the kind of person who's going to find out things for yourself. And it saves you the embarrassment. I do everything like from finding out how to pronounce words. There are channels on YouTube, and the dictionary also has a function. The online dictionaries also have a function for knowing how to pronounce certain words, so that you don't want to come across as a fool. If it cannot be helped, it cannot be helped, and it's okay. It's what I'm saying. But one of the ways I feel like we don't have to be, that the confidence can sometimes get in the way when you just simply fire off emails, fire off questions, instead of taking the time to be resourceful in your inquiry. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, folks, I just so need, I have a client in a while, so I'm going to jump off here, and I am going to see you on Friday. So here's the very last thing. I was looking at my profile on IG. By the way, if you are on Instagram, please follow me at Lisa M. Dublin. I have way more photos and stuff over there that, for very stoosh LinkedIn, it's not kind of appropriate and whatever. I have a problem with LinkedIn sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm just so holistic. I'm just so everything together. But I was looking at my profile, and let me see. Let me just take this comment off. I think we kind of solved for that. And I realized, like, there are parts of me that it would be nice for me to kind of explore in this setting. Okay. Because I'm not nearly that serious. I'm not nearly that deep all the time. I do have fun, do kickback, and do fun things. And yeah. So I was like, maybe on a Friday, we're going to do fun stuff, because that's important too. It doesn't always have to be heavy and personal development. Look at your navel and and figure things out, right? So I'm gonna start doing that kind of thing, and maybe on the Friday when I do Basement Chronicles live on a Friday, kind of bring in fun guests and do fun things, like makeup, fashion, also all of these lovely things that make life meaningful, bring the lightness into life and the joy sometimes. So it's not all about, oh, woe is me, I need to fix this about me and need to be about personal development, because that's really not my job. I'm pretty fun at times. Okay. So watch out for that. I'm not sure what we're going to do on Friday, but we'll do something fun. So join me here on Friday at 12 o'clock MST, and we'll continue the conversation about so many things. So don't forget, if you know somebody who's an immigrant and is just kind of struggling to make it, my free workshop happening next week, Saturday, the 9th of September, is going to be for immigrants. It's called The Confident Immigrant: How to Show Up and to Succeed in Your New Home. Now, new meaning, not that you just reach, as we say, or you just landed. New meaning that it's not where you were born. Okay. So it has both of those meanings. Like if you've been in your new country for a while and you just find that you have not achieved the level of success that you thought you would have been at, this is the workshop for you. Sometimes it's a mindset thing. There are blocks that we can deal with. And it's also about getting the right strategy. Like, what do you want? Many times, and I don't even want to get into the session, but I'm so excited about it already. Many times we don't even let ourselves think the impossible. Many times we don't even let ourselves be the impossible. Hey Stephanie, how are you doing? But I'm just about to end. So this would be a matter of reimagining. What if you could do this? What if you could be that? Then when you do that, you then begin to find a way to make it happen. But many of us don't even think that the same advantages that our native born people have are available to us, and that's not often the case. It is sometimes, but it's not often the case. Sometimes the limits are in our own heads. Let me help you take off those limits. Go register for the free webinar, wherever you're watching me now, it will be in the link, so you can check it out there. It's called The Confident Immigrant, and I'll be advertising it until maybe up to a day or two before, so you can always join. Anyway, have a great day. Yeah, have a great day. And will you save this video? Yes, I'm going to save this video, Stephanie, and you can watch it on LinkedIn. You can watch it on Facebook, on YouTube as well, and of course on Instagram. I'm saving it everywhere. So that way people can, I watch so much stuff on the replay that I don't get offended when people can't join me. Go back and watch it. Dude, that's the whole benefit of, social media and doing things at your own pace. But just let me know, just say replay and, kind of respond. That would be great too. Okay, folks, bye. Have a great day, and I will see you on Friday. Bye.